Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
That's what it is. It is Hump Day Wednesday. Good morning, neighbors. 7.5 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock on this, the 18th day of October. Yep, it's October 18 already. This month is just flying. This year is just flying. Thank you so much for joining us on Power 102 Digital. It is the Power Breakfast Show. Fullcasting this morning. You just heard from Paul Richards. We'll hear from Richard Raghuparising. We got Wendell Stephen, and this morning we have Shane in the mix. All right, let's get straight into the WTs, see what's happening down south. I got nothing to tell you about. Taking the solo at the Freeport. This is where you're going to get your traffic this morning. And then Charlieville towards interchange. Yep, some volume. Approaching Piarco, Trin City to UE. Interchange is where you're going to slow up. And then by Swim Call is where you're going to get your traffic. Eastern Main Road, not too bad at this time. Going to Takariga and towards McCoy. As you head westbound, you've got some traffic. All right, that's your T's. Let's get into the W's. It is 24 degrees at Piarco International Airport, 27 at Crown Point. And the weather for today is fair to partly cloudy conditions accompanied at times by brief, light to moderate showers over some areas. There's also a medium 40 to 60% chance of a few heavy showers or thunderstorms developing from mid-morning. A mostly settled evening and night is expected despite lingering showers. All right, that's your weather forecast. Going to be a wet one in some parts. Let's see who sent us hellos first thing this morning via YouTube or Facebook. Oliver Manwaran, good morning to you. It's Hump Day. That's right. DJ Ray out in Delaware. Wendy and James Garcillian Valencia. D. Pierre, good morning. David X, good morning to you. Marcia Rock, always locked on. Rena Budu Jennings, good morning to you as well. Rennie Mohammed, how you doing? Have a good one yourself. Mo Gaines, happy International Hump Day. That's right, Mo Gaines. Carol Joseph, good morning. Ray out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Anthony Tinto in Canada. Carol Guevara, it's Hump Day. Jenny Fano, good morning. Karen Yipnow and Richard M. Jeremiah, good morning to you all. Thank you so much for sending us a message. You know, we love that here on the Power Breakfast Show. And let me say good morning, good night to Paul Richards, who's sipping his cup of coffee. You're muted.
Morning, Steve. Good morning, everyone. Good Wednesday morning.
You need another sip of coffee.
Why you have so much latency on your system this morning?
I have so many what?
Latency.
I don't know.
Your voice is going way different to your video.
I
don't know. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Let's not make a big issue of it.
Unless you want me to log off and log back
You
on.
see, you just laugh on your mouth now laughing. Yeah. Good morning, Wendell.
Hi, morning, gentlemen. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, listeners. Forgive my nasal sound I have. Usual thing when this weather, these different types of
no, it's a pressurized cabin, so
mess with me. Oh God.
He's back home.
Pressurized cabin that does that to you.
Oh goodness.
Does it to me too.
Yeah, I hate feeling this way. I overdosed on Panadol multi-symptoms, so
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. Let it work for you. Take the normal too.
I had to. Anyway, good morning. We're here. We're happy to be in the land of the living. Let's look alive. Let's sound alive. Happy birthday to my niece, Aisha Bat. She's celebrating her birthday today. Royston John, he's an excellent tileman. He is celebrating his birthday today. Joan Dabro, that is Sterling's mom, I think. Happy birthday, Joan. Ryan Olivier, Trisha Peters, Gerald Major, Maxine Moreau, Kerry Ahow, he was an old St. James student. He is also celebrating his birthday today. All right, so happy birthday. Yesterday was Clarence Rambarat's birthday, and today would also have Gladiator's birthday.
That's true. I just have two birthdays. Lystra Lagranade, good happy birthday to you. and a brother of Nikki Ramlachan, Neil. Happy birthday to you, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
All
could
right.
call
And
Nikki one day
anybody
to tell
else
us what's
celebrating
going on in
birthdays?
the world of virology.
Yeah, we could do that. Was that Wendell? Sorry.
So I say I know, and anybody else who's celebrating birthdays today, happy birthday.
Yeah.
We're still in Libra season. Just have a
Yeah.
few more days to go. For
Let
Libra
me
season.
say something for you that's guaranteed to put a smile on your face this morning.
Oh Lord, I know what it is. I know what it is.
So some
know.
weeks ago, the country was plunged into controversy
I knew it.
over a young lady who was
Mhm.
born in Venezuela and chosen to represent Trinidad and Tobago. She subsequently stepped down, and the replacement, the first runner-up, was chosen. Well, the competition has started. And let me just put context to be fair to the young lady. Apparently, the first phase of the competition is called an audition, when all the young ladies are called upon to sing a song, whether you could sing or not.
Sing
Right?
a song.
So this is our representative singing.
Mhm.
Mary, did you know?
Is that
And
what it
Is
was?
that what it was?
That's what
Mary,
it was.
did you know?
That is what I figured it out as I played it a couple of times.
Oh, you really torture yourself there, bro.
Mary, did
played
not,
a
Mary.
couple
So this is the young lady singing Mary, did you know?
Here we go.
Now it's your turn to perform.
Oh my God. So she's
Is that
very
the
pretty.
Venezuelan girl dancing on the side?
I think so. That's why I kind of cut it off. I didn't want to seem to be promoting her in a negative light.
But who is that dancing on the side there?
I think it's the Venezuelan girl who actually won first.
Oh,
But I can't confirm that.
okay.
And she
But
wasn't dancing with the representative on stage. They superimposed that.
But if Glenn Ramadan could sing and make track something, that young girl could sing. That's all I could say.
Don't do Glenn Ramadan sing that.
What? Glenn
Glenn
Ramadan
Ramadan
singing no
wasn't
better
that
than
bad.
that.
He wasn't that bad. He was don't do Glenn Ramadan sing that. Glenn Ramadan sing wasn't that bad. Don't be that. Okay? But she looked very beautiful.
Glenn
Let's
Ramadan
give us,
sing
beautiful.
serenaded his
let's give her some props. She's very beautiful.
Just don't sing.
Just
Yeah.
don't sing.
Ugh.
But to be fair,
She was-
apparently
she was-
it's something called audition when all the contestants are asked to perform some musical
Mhm.
number, whether play an instrument or sing. So
Was
she
it
chose
karaoke?
to.
Did they pull up words for them or something?
Possibly.
I don't know.
Mhm.
You know, when I record my Mary Did You Know for Christmas, so you laugh at me, but it wasn't that bad.
We'll never do that again, Paul.
Okay, it was my Mary Did You Know wasn't that bad.
Never do that again.
My Mary Did You Know wasn't that bad.
I'm always a harsh judge of singing because I used to sing. I sang in choirs. I sang at Queen's Hall. I sang for music festival. Yeah, I sang. So I'm a harsh judge of singing. So there's just some people who just should not be near a microphone, and she's one. Then remember that she's one.
She should have sing a calypso.
This lady who does sing calypso and sing a tune for I never, her voice used to annoy me. What was the lady name who sang for? She sang for Boogsy Sharp. She sang for tunes for Boogsy. Oh goodness, what's her name again? Is Anne-Marie Innes? Was that the name?
I have no idea. I'm refusing to call her name to put anybody in that light.
No, she sang one of Boogsy's hits. And so on. Oh,
Let's remember Denise Plummer fondly with Boogsy Sharp. And
it wasn't Denise Plummer. It wasn't Denise Plummer. Denise Plummer
could sing.
Yeah. I think it's Anne-Marie Innes is the girl name, yes? Oh, terrible.
So let's congratulate the TTPS again for
thanks, John. It is Anne-Marie
finding another huge cache of illegal arms and police vests and uniforms, boots, sirens, police swivel lights. How are they getting all this police paraphernalia?
I am right. I thought about this
that arises.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
How are they getting their hands on police sirens, swivel lights, vests, uniforms, and boots? How?
Yeah.
And in spite of this second huge cache that the police commendably seized inside the cruise again, no one was arrested.
Yeah. I think that's the most disappointing part about it. I mean, I recommend them for at least getting these things out of the hands of potential criminals, because we don't know who they're getting it out of the hands of. You know, we don't know if it's criminals or people who just stockpiling some policeman or a group of police officers who just didn't find they wasn't getting enough uniform and enough guns and was keeping them somewhere hidden in a forest. We don't know. We don't know at the end of the day. You understand?
We know when earlier said
if they are criminals or aggrieved legitimate police officers who find that they should be having more uniforms or more guns. We don't know.
Lincoln, good morning to Lincoln. Lincoln made a point on Monday where he asked what is done, what's the procedure for getting rid of illegal firearms when police seize it. And my conspiracy theory mind is going at 1,000 miles a minute.
Paul,
if they could,
I ask that question all the time.
Police uniforms, boots, sirens, and civil lights, why they can't get their hands on illegal guns that are seized and not disposed of properly?
Paul, I asked the last 3 police commissioners. We haven't been able to interview this one yet. I used to ask them that question: why haven't they done it publicly? Why hasn't there been a public destruction, a steamroller roll over these things so you could see that you're destroying it? I asked that question. I asked it to Mr. Williams. I asked it to to Gary Griffith and McDonald Jacobs. And when I asked Gary the time, he had said, that's a good idea because, he's the master of PR. And I'm saying, why aren't you all doing a public destruction of these things?
If they could, the clearly corrupt police officers, because I ain't feel no bandit going into a police station and pick up uniform, boots, vests, sirens, and swivel lights. Okay? I put my head on a block and say that had to be police helping them. Right? Corrupt police helping them. Because they ain't walking in, it will be even worse for them to be able to walk into a police station or a police storage area and get their hands on that.
Yeah,
but it comes back down.
It has to be corrupt police officers helping them with that. And if corrupt police officers can help them with that, why not seizures of illegal weapons? Because police bullets end up on crime scene already.
And why not arrest some people? Because
And why has no one been arrested in relation to these huge fines?
Because these things not wrapped in plastic in the forest. They based on what they're bringing forward. So and their fingerprints on them.
Well, whoever the perpetrators are may not be in the system. Even if they're able to retrieve viable fingerprints, the perpetrators may not be in the system. So there's no reference point.
Every single police officer is in the system.
Or you're talking about if it's police, but that's if it's police.
If it's police.
If it's police.
Single one of them in the system.
Yeah. You know, electronic systems break down in this country and they'll be maintained. So
yeah,
you know. So while I commend the police, I again ask the question as in relation to the first fine, why have no arrests been made?
Yeah.
Very disturbing. But let me ask you a question here. When they go back to the station, they close off their shift, don't they hand in their bulletproof vests and there's some sort of accountability?
There's supposed to be a process, yes.
So Wendell is coming off duty, but he comes back in without his police vest, his bulletproof vest. Nobody says, hey, wear your vest?
Steve, can all systems fail? You forget the army lose a weapon the other day and had to have a national manhunt for the weapon.
Did they ever find that?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yes, they did. Within like 48 to 72 hours.
In Belmont.
Good morning to Republic Bank.
You know, I am so disappointed with that situation, because, well, this is the first time, I think I mentioned it when I was on radio on Monday, right, that it had happened to me. And, of course, there was a long silence from everybody until Republic Bank acknowledged that they were the ones at fault because they are the transacting bank, I think, for these dealers or whatever, right? And yet still, I have seen no redress in my account. Because I check my account literally on a daily basis. Because I've had credit card issues before, I check my account on a daily basis. And I had intention of going in to ask Royal Bank because I have not a Royal Bank situation in a little while. Republic Bank, though, when I traveled prior to this trip, Republic Bank called me and advised that I change my card. They said they saw a couple of transactions that were attempted that they find suspicious. They were the ones advised that I change my card. Nothing had happened on the account, but they just thought that I needed to change my card. And I went in and they gave me a new card. Now I'm reading this, but this was with a Royal Bank card. So I'm not following really the procedure or how it ended up being Republic Bank. I don't know. You know, I really don't know. But I do know, and for people who are wondering, how could a merchant draw money from your credit card? Once you've used a credit card by somebody, they can literally draw money at any point in time if they're doing something fraudulent. They can draw money at any time. Once you use it by anybody, they can. They've captured your information. You understand? Because, for instance, when I've seen sometimes when I would have, well, this again in a case where I would have traveled and I rented a car. A month later, they draw money because I went through some toll that they needed to be paid. You understand? And they take it. But they warn you before,
that's why when you stay at a hotel,
yeah,
any decent hotel now, you have to put a credit card on the system so that if you have incidental costs associated with your stay, they can take it out.
They can draw it later on.
To be fair, they also rebate you because I got rebated.
Yeah.
For a stay in Africa recently, you know.
Or they
So which means they have your access to your card on the system. And that's why the banks will tell you when you travel, make sure and monitor your card while you're there.
Yes.
And weeks after you return.
Yes.
Particularly if you use it at merchants in a foreign jurisdiction. Because you don't know who's skimming and who's keep the record and you don't know who's doing what, you know?
Yep. What happens?
But Brenda, to your point, Republic Bank said they're working closely with all the local banks to identify impacted customers and will be taking all steps necessary to address any discrepancies. So maybe they just ain't get around to you though.
All right. Maybe mine too small, but some people I know lost more than I did.
We're talking about the credit card amount or
Yeah, everything. But mind you, they drew a large sum, $2,726. That is no small money in one go, and then another go $720. You understand?
I don't understand the as I said yesterday. I don't understand the randomness of the withdrawals, of the debits.
Yes.
The randomness of the debits is what is concerning. So sometimes, I mean, sometimes happen with banks. Because I know of a situation at a friend of mine at one of the 3 big banks in the country, where one of the employees took out hundreds of thousands of dollars from her account. When she went and checked it with the bank, they acknowledged the issue, identified the rogue employee, and they said, we'll put back the money. And she said, no, you will not put back the money. I have no access to that money for 2 weeks. You will give me additional money for my inconvenience.
Right.
And the bank quietly gave her $50,000 additionally for her to keep her mouth shut. Because the bank did not want the public to get a sense that there was an issue with monitoring of employees and the trust issue and confidence to the bank's systems.
Yeah, they never like that.
Sometimes what banks do is they find an employee who has been doing all these things. I'm not saying that is the case here. I have no information to confirm that. But banks are very good at covering up when it's a rogue employee to maintain the public confidence in their systems.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay.
And what they do, I've heard what they have done is keep the employee employed so that the money can be repaid and then get rid of them. You know?
Yeah.
I've heard that too.
I know a bank in Port of Spain too, where 3 young people, because I know one of them mother, and she was distressed, were continuing to take out what do you call it, the pension NIS, something to do with allowances to elder people. When the people had died, they continued the thing,
the deductions.
The deductions, and put it into their own take and withdraw the money. A bank right in Independence Square. There. I ain't identifying the bank, but have a real bank on Independence Square.
It does.
Right? A bank there's anyway, I'm not good at far.
They do the things quietly.
They quietly got rid of them and said and stopped the transactions, and there was no public announcement of it to maintain the bank's credibility again.
Yep. So this is another because I don't know that Republic Bank or any one of those banks involved will ever say that this was some kind of fraudulent thing. They're saying it's some system error. I do not believe it. I do not believe it.
And it's the randomness of it, 702,000 something.
Yeah.
Our system is randomly do that. Did that AI in the system now? Or the machine sentient?
Yeah.
It's not going to say the same thing.
Yeah. Somebody did something, and the bank will probably never tell us.
Yeah, the bank won't tell us.
Yeah, they probably never tell us.
Exactly. Because that confidentiality thing is huge for the banks. You understand that they don't want to impact their public reputation and image.
Yep.
Another disturbing story that's trending this morning, where 2 children were found naked and alone in an abandoned structure in Dabadi on Monday night.
Good, you with that news? I was like, what?
3 toddlers.
I didn't see that news.
3-year-olds, 2.5 and 3 years, something like that, or 3.5.
In Trinidad?
Yeah.
At 7:30 on Monday, police were conducting patrols at Salmon Drive near Jordan Trees. When they observed 2 children playing on the pavement at 7:30 in the evening. Both appeared to be 3 years old. One of the children was naked, holding a disposable diaper. The officers flashed the lights, sound the horn, call out by the abandoned area. Nobody came out. They took the children, of course. And then they went back at 9 p.m. and found a couple. One was 32 years old and one was 21 years old. Who the neighbors had told them. They've got the police interview a couple of the neighbors and say, what's going on here? And they said that was a normal thing.
What?
The parents will come back in the night. Well, let me tell you, they should have lost them in jail.
So they were not even at home?
No. They
No.
left the children and went about their merry way.
3 years old.
No, man. No, man.
No.
No, man.
Those children should not be seen about children.
Well, plenty of people there, to be very fair.
True.
True.
Plenty of people. Hundreds of people shouldn't be seen about children. Shouldn't have children nowhere near them.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I missed that. Where's Salmon driving Dabity? I'm trying to figure it out.
Near Jordan Trace, they say. So I just like, when I said, what?
And not only that, you said he shot
And
at
I always say,
and rats.
we have maybe it's not Trinidad and Tobago alone, eh? Because in Jamaica, one of the ministers' children and the child's mother was killed about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I read that.
I don't know. This world is like they treat children like a commodity sometimes, boy. Like property you own and you can do what you want with. Because children have no voice in many cases.
Yeah.
The couple is being questioned on allegations of child abandonment. Very often there's drug abuse involved in those cases.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because I don't think no sane person, okay, if one of them has a mental issues, but to both of them,
Yeah.
that is drug abuse. You understand?
I'm trying to. Those ages, though. I'm guessing. The man is the 32-year-old and the woman is the 21-year-old. Are they the parents of the children?
That's what the report said. That's what the report said.
And
So,
one of them is 3.
but it seems both of them are around the same age, but one it can't be three, both three unless they're twin, you know. But one could be a little older.
That's what I'm
you know.
saying. So then it might have been an older child too.
Yeah, well, they're both
But I
under
can't
5, they
imagine.
put it that way.
Right. Okay.
Like, let me say they're both under 5 to be safe.
You know, but
All right.
but the neighbors said as a normal thing, but they didn't do anything about it. Apparently.
You don't know that they didn't do anything?
That's what I said, apparently. That's it. I don't know, but
You-
I would have
sometimes
thought that
people make calls and nothing happens, you know.
that's another point.
Sometimes people make
Nothing
calls
happened.
and people make calls to the police, report stuff. You understand?
Right.
I always
you
remember
probably
about 8 or 9 years ago, I was driving on El Socorro Road about 7:30 on a rainy night. And I saw this little school girl walking by herself. Pitch black, rain, child wet down. And I'm seeing this child walk. I said, what is child this hour in the rain? And I stopped and asked this child, where are you going? Home. I said, where's home? Down the road. I said, jump in. And drove slowly. I said, show me where you're living. And when she came up, when she said, I'm living there. And when I came out, I said, stay in the car. And I called out from outside because they had no doorbell or anything. I said, good evening. A woman came out. I'll never forget. It was so disturbing. I almost drove the child to the police station, to be very honest. I said, you have a child going to school? Oh, Shems. Oh, my God, I forget her, yes? I opened the car door and I said, this is your child? Yes. She forget the child in school here.
Are you lucky she didn't turn around and accuse you or something?
Yeah, you're lucky
True.
about that.
But when they go to the police and when they go to the medical people to examine the child, and I have no problem with that. But I put you in jail.
Yeah, that's. I don't know.
She forget the child. She forget the child, and this child, this little child, a primary school child,
Mm-hmm.
I think about 7 or 8, walking by herself after 7 midnight in the pouring rain. You know?
Yeah.
And I said, wow. Sometimes you see people, I will see people walking, which confuses me, on the pavement with the child on the outside holding their
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, that
Sometimes
disturbs
not
me.
holding their hand. And I said, but
That,
that I hurt you to come out.
yeah, that
I
disturbs
said
me.
that
also.
clearly hurt you to come out.
Let me
I see
point out
I
something.
a couple of times, and I get cussed out a couple of times too. I said, why don't you put the child on the inside?
Yeah.
And
No,
you
but
walk on the
Paul,
inside. Mind
on
your effing business. It's
on
my child.
On Fifth Avenue, Barrett-Tarrier, there's a walkover. Well, not a walkover, a crosswalk, going from 5th Street to the Priority bus route. This lady jumped out with a child, had to be about 3-4 years old, of a taxi. Now the taxi didn't drop her right on the crosswalk. He dropped her a little before, and I'm behind this vehicle. And she's walking to the crosswalk on the left side of 5th Street with the child in the road.
On the road.
And I stayed right behind until she got to that crosswalk to go by the Priority bus route.
You know what I don't do at all?
And I'm doing what?
I don't overtake Maxi that stop at all.
Yeah, me too.
No,
you're
you're
right down.
careful.
I just slow right down to 0.
And they all stop on crosswalks. Either
And
before
when I see a Maxi stop, I just slow right down to 0. Because my mind is somebody pitching across there.
Yep.
Yesterday, actually just yesterday, it happened to me, and I had to be blowing a guy because he didn't blowing the horn for a guy. Let me rephrase that. Blowing the horn for a guy. I know,
Not that bullet fast, boy.
After it come up about, I realized I'm going to withdraw that statement and fix it fast. Blowing the horn to alert a guy that car was speeding on, you understand? And it's a good thing he stopped because the car zoomed past. You understand?
Yeah,
and
you
people
see
do all
that on
sorts
the
of
PBR. You see that on the PBR
I know.
all the time.
And you know what is so dangerous on the PBR? When they come to a traffic light, Maxi's on the shoulder, but they pretending to pick up a passenger, but they're just going straight to overtake everybody. Now, let's say somebody is jumping out of a Maxi, they're going to run straight into this Maxi.
Anyway, it's
that
20
Priority
minutes
bus route needs to be policed. I can't say police properly, is not policed. Police.
See, that is not true, Steve. That is not true.
What is not true?
Priority bus route is policed. You may say it's not policed effectively or enough, but it is not accurate to say it is not policed.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Driving on the bus route, you know. I am talking about
that statement is not true.
Paul, I want you to go by the Quasi and see how that is.
Steve,
I pass by that Quasi daily.
There are officers at different points on the bus route, and the officers moving up and down the bus route. You said the bus route is not policed.
Well, I don't see
an accurate statement.
Well, I don't.
Let's say you don't see it's not policed.
I don't see it.
Well, then
because
that's a different statement.
let me tell you, if it was police, those maxi taxi drivers would drive properly. They would not stop at a crosswalk.
They just can't be all over. The officers just can't be all over.
No, they can't. But it needs to be police. So them fellas will know, listen, we don't have a police officer or plainclothes officers around that I might get a ticket.
What they need to do is
right now is a law upon themselves, you know.
Yeah, they need to find a way to regulate the max, especially on crosswalks. That's what they need to do.
Crosswalks is so dangerous.
Yeah.
And the traffic lights too.
Yeah. Because the last time there was an accident, a fatal accident by Paget Road, you remember? It was because a Maxi was blocking the view of a vehicle. And a truck, that's when the army truck ran into the car.
Yeah, boy. Right by Paget Road there.
Terrible. You know? But and just the other day again, there was another accident by that corner that we thought wasn't going to have accidents again. McCoy Road. I don't know if you all saw it. A van, a black pickup on the bus route broke the light heading west. and ran into another pickup and hit a third pickup. You understand? And this was recently because the rumble strips and the lines, everything was there and very visible. You know, but some people are just driving absent-minded too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyway, let me roll into newspapers.
Yeah, let me just say hello to Wayne B, Karen Yipnow, Richard Duku, Brenda Isaac, good morning, Gloria Greek, Cheryl Pix.
Cheryl, I just fixed that issue for you so you can organize it now on your TV. Sorry about that.
All right, Kazim Mohammed, I did that. Karen, you're killing me with these messages. Patrick Matthew, Ingrid Adams. Oh.
Well, that can't be Richard Dogs. Who else have dogs? So many dogs. So many
That's
dogs.
Paul, he's hungry.
The dogs
have
do
more
have
than
to
one
be in
dog?
my yard. The dogs are in the neighborhood.
Oh, because I'm now saying you have more than one dog there?
I actually have 2 dogs, but they are dogs in neighbors' yards.
Okay.
Let's
You living
start
by
with the Express.
TSPC or what?
Sorry?
You're living by TSPC here?
For Wednesday, the 18th of October, 2023, Express trending stories. The doctor who was held with the drugs here, they got fired. So ERHA doctor dismissed after drug guilty plea. He was fined $14,000. They fined ketamine and mushroom drug and in the car, and the car was smelling of weed. He pleaded guilty in court, and the ERHA fired him now. 2 toddlers found at abandoned structure. Republic Bank admits and apologizes. Constable allegedly solicits money from robbery victim. Police arsenal found again in Santa Cruz. You all know that somebody bought the Tembladora land down in Chaguaramas?
Somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is saying.
Well, it's a person, yes.
By where Tembladora is?
Yeah.
That's a huge property, you know.
I'll tell you who it is off here.
Okay.
TT Post workers looking for 18.6% salary increase. Keep waiting.
Somebody just wanted this big piece of land close to the sea.
Keep hope alive. Well, it's not their first piece of land close to the sea. Let's move to the news. The North Police warn criminals no tolerance of crime at Tobago Carnival. Tourism Secretary, more Tobagonians are involved in carnival prep. Education Minister, students get faster access to bursary money. Works Minister says PTSD vacancies being filled. Of what avail? Judge praises police for destabilizing sinister carnival terrorist plot in 2018. Consumer Affairs to probe PriceSmart credit card charges. The Prime Minister has left for Canada for a CARICOM, some type of CARICOM summit.
Canada?
Yeah.
Canada?
He left yesterday, yes. Works Minister says PTSD's vacancies being filled. And woman learns of son's death at Point 14 Beach via TikTok. Isn't that tragic?
Well, if you go to Canada, you go to New York first.
Why?
Because when I was at the airport yesterday, the flight that came in to take us back home, somebody came off that flight and said they were on the same flight with the Prime Minister.
Moving now to the Guardian Online, US allows TT to pay for dragon gas. Cops seize another weapons cache in Santa Cruz. 2 toddlers found in abandoned building in Dabadie. RBL takes blame for unauthorized credit card payments. ERHA fires San Fernando doctor fined for drug trafficking. Prison officer waits quitting after being shot at. PM TNT team to get work at Canada CARICOM Summit. That's where he's gone. The Canada CARICOM Summit. Major pothole in Port is being repaired. Let me tell you, traffic like that yesterday.
By Queen and Frederick.
Yeah, the road like at 40. So those are trending
that's
stories
cool.
in your 3 major dailies this morning, The Guardian, The Express, and The Newsday. I thought you wasn't coming today.
Me no know. I mean, I am pretty busy today. That I will say.
Yeah, you can see seeing clients today.
Steve sent me a message. Morning family emergency. Can't do show this morning. Apologies. So
Richard didn't send that message
to you.
Richard didn't send that message.
I didn't.
Steve sent that message to me a couple of minutes ago. So I thought it was in reference to Richard.
Oh no.
Oh.
You know, Steve is anyway.
Yeah.
Good morning, Welcome
That must be,
back.
that must be
Morning.
Steve's old message that now coming through that he resent.
I don't know.
Didn't Steve have a family emergencies last Friday?
I don't know.
Paul, check back your phone now. Something going on there with
But
you.
it is Wednesday anyway.
Paul reading over old messages.
But so Consumer Affairs is investigating the price smart issue, but Republic Bank is
Consumer
already.
who?
Well, that was a Guardian trending story. Guardian usually 24 hours behind the cycle.
Okay, because Republic Bank is already
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
said
But I
it's
don't
us.
think but I also don't think that because Republic Bank says our fault, Consumer Affairs can't continue to investigate
They can.
And do
Yeah.
what?
and figure out what the real issue is. If there are other factors that may be involved in the interest of protecting consumers. Anyway, what is the question?
Maybe
this
Republic
morning?
Bank says a processing technical thing on our side. What Consumer Affairs
Then
would
why
have
was
otherwise?
Brenda's card debited $2,000 on one occasion and $700 on another occasion?
Because
They're
it's a
not correct.
technical processing thing on our side.
You
And
know,
I
I
think
don't
it was-
believe that, right? I
And I
believe
think
it.
it was
I believe there was
and
an
I think it
attempt
was
of fraud.
converting it. It was converting it to. It was reading it as a U.S. payment.
700 to 2,000? That's a US conversion?
Yeah, but if they said as it, it's a
That
processing.
don't
don't
believe
mean that don't mean to tell the truth.
I
Yeah.
don't believe
How,
it.
so
I
how
don't believe it.
Consumer Affairs has no power to do anything else? What are they
That-
going to do?
that- That's
They're
what
going
I'm
to send
thinking
an IT
also.
person to Republic Bank IT department?
And the question this morning
No, you
is
answer me. You say they have. Let me see what power they have. What power Consumer Affairs have? You tell me.
welcome to the show, Richard.
That could be our poll
None.
this morning.
Yeah,
That
that's
could be
right.
our poll this morning. Do you
Zero.
believe Consumer Affairs can
Consumer
come-
Affairs can go into Republic Bank and say, give me access to your IT information. No, they cannot.
Do you think Consumer Affairs should investigate the transaction discrepancies?
All they could do is investigate it by memos coming from different departments. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. And they say, oh, could we investigate it? That's as good as they could do.
You take a double
They have
espresso
no
this
power.
morning. You take
What
a
they
double
could do?
espresso this morning.
You tell
take
me
a
what they
double-
could do,
You
Senator.
take 2 shots this morning. 2 shots.
I
When you
don't-
see God, when you say that thing, you know he's serious.
I honestly I don't have Richard's passion for this, but I share his sentiments.
What they'll do? They'll get a report from
What
Price.
is
Get a
the
report from Price.
question this
Investigate
morning?
it. Look, we get reports. Yeah.
Do you believe Consumer Affairs will get to the bottom of this debacle concerning
Getting to the
credit
bottom
cards?
suggests that we haven't gotten to the bottom of the Republic Bank's admission.
Republic Bank has already said it is us.
Our fault. We accept responsibility. Or you can't put that question, please.
There's somebody saying, hey, it's me. What are you investigating?
Isn't Esme Richard, isn't Esme short for Esmeralda Dutton? Esme?
Or you want to get a phone this morning or not?
Anybody can message us and tell us who is Esmeralda Dutton.
Or you know Steve blowing a blood vessel in, all right? Or you know Steve on time.
Nah, you need something else.
So, I
They're
don't know.
both wrong
Anyway,
time.
let's go ahead with the question. You didn't
I'm
tell
trying to
me
get the
that.
results to the poll.
What is the question? Do you think Consumer Affairs should continue investigating the credit card issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go with
We'll go with
that.
that. We'll go with that. You've gotten your way again. We'll go with that.
I'll be business here, Wendell.
F? Yes, please get it to me today now.
I have it in the car. I told you that.
I tell you, I could drop in by all your dogs on
So you can drop in after 11.
after 11. Okay. All right. So we have our poll coming up, folks. Let's hold on. Dilip Celeste.
Yeah, he's typing it. I can't get the results on the poll from yesterday.
Estelita Sampson, who is Miss Sampson. Maria Selye, good morning. CPT Singh, good morning. Prabha, I'm guessing that's Prabha Ramdial, good morning. And I haven't seen Faraya.
I cut my finger yesterday, so I type in slowly.
Oh dear. Do you think
Yeah,
Consumer Affairs should continue investigating the credit card discrepancy issue? You're being well polite. Credit card bacchanal. Because it turned into a bacchanal, you know.
I'm going to be diplomatic and say discrepancy is you.
Okay. All right. So we have one vote so far. Edwin
You're
Marshall.
real energetic this morning. I'll tell you that. Let me tell you something.
I'm actually not there, but you know me, I ain't backing down from a fight. Oh, and boy, do I have some fights coming up soon.
Somebody told me that before yesterday. You had like two brothers who grew up in the house who always fighting. That's a good analogy, yes. That's a good analogy. See, you like the big brother who always tapping him and then pretending he ain't tapping.
Yeah. And then I pick up a slingshot and let it go at your tail when you're not looking. Edwin Marshall says yes. Miss Bonia West says yes. Wayne B says no. Keep the votes coming and you can make your calls also.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, my love.
Good morning. Esmeralda Dutton asked Mary. Mary knows she was dancing while she was doing on the grave.
I figure you would know that.
All right.
Of course, you think if once Mary could dance. And once you see it, I know how many umpteen times I can't count.
Do you think Consumer Affairs should continue investigating the credit card discrepancy issue? All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Zena.
Don't rush, Steve. I'm here. Don't be rushing, Zena.
No, I don't. Okay. All right. Julia S. says yes. Slick Money Grip says yes. Helen Prescott says no to the poll. What says you, caller?
Good morning to you, good gentlemen. Good morning to Wendell.
Look, LA is alive and kicking.
Yeah, boy. Wendell, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. A little nasal, but I'm good.
You're still in the Big Apple?
If?
You're still in New York?
No. I'm back home.
Oh, you're back home. All right. Yes to the poll. Lockdown, listening to you guys.
All right, Ellie, all the best there. You're sounding wide awake for 4 o'clock in the morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Sandy Grandy, no.
All right, Grandy, thank you.
Hey, Mr. Gomes.
Slick Money Grip says yes.
We got that already.
Okay. All right. I have the results of our poll from yesterday. I'll give you right before 7 o'clock news.
All right. Do you think Consumer Affairs should continue investigating the credit card discrepancy issue? Republic Bank has already taken credit for the debacle.
Responsibility.
Responsibility. Credit. They take credit too. The dam will take credit too. And Consumer Affairs said they will investigate and call them to book. My words.
I ain't want to call them to book. Just they are not the authority to call nobody to no book. Okay?
Yeah.
They can't call nobody to no book, but they could investigate and tell you what went on in their opinion.
When last have we heard places like Consumer Affairs or Bureau of Standards clamp down on anybody? When last?
And you know,
I just said something
for months and you ain't from Consumer Affairs, eh?
No.
All of a sudden, they have a bank and they jump out. Food prices all over the place, and no, nothing from Consumer Affairs.
Who is the chief? Who is the CCAO? Chief Consumer Affairs Officer. Who is that?
You're asking me.
They must have somebody head in there.
Yeah, but
what ministry? What ministry that will come under?
Trade and industry.
Trade? Industry? Trade and industry?
Trade and industry.
Trade
and industry. You must carry me on. What may I tell you? Answer the question.
No, you were speaking downwards, you see. You wasn't projecting. As I know you can. So let's call Minister Paula Gobisco. She's always available.
That's true.
I don't know.
Steve, I'm sure you have the number.
Yeah, but I don't know her that well to call her at this hour to say.
Why? You call everybody else and put them on the radio just so. Where's the point?
I know who to call to put them on the radio just so.
Steve, call the honorable minister if you have.
I'll leave that up to you.
After 7.
She won't buff you. She'll buff me.
She will not buff you.
She won't buff. She's not
That's
that
not her temperament.
Yeah, she's not that type of person.
If you call and put her on the radio without telling her in advance, she'll buff you.
I know who to do that to as well.
No, you don't need
We
to
have
do that.
some of
You
the
just tell her-
as well.
You can just tell her we want to speak to her concerning this issue. I'm sure she'll accommodate.
Exactly.
Because you all passing the buck.
No, I'm just saying, Mrs. Gopi Schoon is not like how you're making her out to be.
She's
She's
not
a very
like that.
approachable person.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. She is. I've never seen her or known her to snub anybody. I've never. So we can try after 7.
I'm trying. All right. Again, our poll. Do you think Consumer Affairs should continue investigating the credit card discrepancy issue?
Why aren't we
Yes
getting
or
plenty
no?
votes on this? Why aren't we getting plenty votes on this? Always lapsing. Where are the online people? They're normally very vibrant with their voting.
Yeah, so 222 talk, 222-8255, North Americans, 866-525-1099. Do you think Consumer Affairs should continue investigating the credit card discrepancy issue?
While we're waiting those calls, let's regale you with some beautiful music.
Now it's your turn to perform.
Oh my God.
Let's have a call. Let's take that call. Save me, caller. Save me. Good morning.
Good morning, Providence, Georgia. Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you, buddy. All the best here.
And Keegan Barrett says yes also.
If married, you don't know.
If married, I don't know.
You're recording, right, Wendell? You're recording.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes,
All
I
right.
am.
We got to run into our major news. Aviation Hill Bab is in.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
Here are your news headlines to 7 o'clock. The U.S. makes allowance for TNT to pay for drug and gas. Another cache of weapons has been found in Santa Cruz. 2 children found naked and alone in an abandoned structure in Darby. And Standing Finance Committee told the operational cost of Lake Asphalt far exceeds its income. Details in a moment. This is News to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Cynthia Bob. Good morning. TNT has been granted additional time by the United States to further explore and develop the Dragon gas field exploration agreement with Venezuela. This is according to Minister of Energy Stuart Young, who said that, more importantly, TNT can now pay for the arrangement in U.S. bolivars or cryptocurrency. He made the announcement on the latest developments during a media briefing at the Ministry of Energy in Port of Spain last evening. Young said it was done via the granting of a significant amendment to our OFAC license. He said the good news had been communicated to him around midday yesterday via their lawyers in Washington, following which Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, who is currently in Canada for the first ever Canada CARICOM summit, was immediately appraised. or apprised, along with Venezuela Vice President Delcy Rodriguez. The Office of Financial Assets Control, OFAC, continually maintains a number of sanctions lists on behalf of the United States Department of Treasury. Young explained that TNT's amended license will now run for 2 years until October 31st, 2025. Another cache of weapons has been found in Santa Cruz. This time it included bulletproof vests, police uniforms, boots, sirens, police swivel lights, rifles, silencers, and several firearm components. The find was made on Tuesday afternoon in a forested area off Congradal Road in Lower Santa Cruz by officers of the Interagency Task Force and the Northeastern Division Task Force. The cache was also being tabulated up to 9 p.m. At the IATF headquarters in Aranguez, officials spread out the items to be examined by a team of senior officers, including Commissioner of Police Earl Haywood Christopher, Senior Superintendent Roger Alexander, and Senior Superintendent Cohen Francis. The police commissioner once again thanked members of the public for providing the police service with information which led to the discovery, and continued her pleas for citizens to work with the organization in the reduction of crime. Last Wednesday, hours after prison officer Stephen Phipps was shot in Maritaria, officers of the IATF, as well as the Guard and Emergency Branch, seized a cache of arms and ammunition in Santa Cruz. 13 whole firearms were seized, according to police, including 2 AK-47 rifles, 2 Draco rifles, 1 M16 rifle, 2 Uzi submachine guns, 1 Beretta submachine gun, 1 Ruger 30 caliber rifle, and 1 Ruger Precision 50 caliber rifle. The seizure was also included 1,152 rounds of assorted ammunition, including 45 millimeter, 50 caliber, 12 gauge, 7.62 millimeter, 9 millimeter, and 6.5 caliber armor-piercing ammunition. Several major firearm component parts were also seized, including 10 laser pointers, 23 rifle stocks, 53 trigger guards, 13 selectors, 15 triggers, 4 rear sights, and 4 buffers. No arrests have been made in connection with this find. 2 children were found naked and alone in an abandoned structure in Darby on Monday night. Around 7:30 p.m., police constables French and Hanaway were conducting patrols along Saman Drive near Jordan Trace when they observed 2 children playing on the pavement. Both appeared to be about 3 years old. One of the children was naked and holding a disposable diaper in his hand. The 2 children then walked inside the abandoned structure. The officers approached the children and called out for adults, but no one responded. The officers then used the vehicle's horn and swivel lights, but still received no response. They then entered the structure and found the children in one of the rooms. The area was overgrown with bush and appeared to be infested with cockroaches and rats, according to media reports. The police officers took the children to the Maloney Police Station, and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Child Protection Unit was notified. Investigators questioned residents in the area who told the police that the children lived in the structure with their parents, who had not been seen all day. Around 9 p.m., officers returned to the area and found the couple aged 32 and 21. They were both detained and will be questioned on allegations of child abandonment. The 2 children were taken for medical treatment at the Arima Hospital. The Eastern Regional Health Authority has fired a 29-year-old medical doctor who was fined $14,000 earlier this month after pleading guilty to a number of drug charges. The ARHA issued a media release yesterday stating that the decision was made following media reports about the doctor, Andel Jagannath, and it being able to obtain a court extract from the Sangre Grande Magistrates Court, where the doctor appeared on October 4th. The day before he appeared before Magistrate Sharon Rafael, Jagannath of Diamond Village, San Fernando, was arrested by P.C. Johnson of the Valencia Police Post during a routine traffic stop along Eastern Main Road, Valencia. Police reported that after directing Jagannath to bring his white Hyundai Tucson vehicle to a stop and approach the car, they detected the scent of marijuana. A search of the vehicle was carried out, during which the officers found a black drawstring tote bag on the rear seat containing 9 plastic packets with substances and a plastic container with marijuana. The plastic packets contained 1.6 grams of ketamine, 1.7 grams of ecstasy, and 5.3 grams of psilocybin commonly referred to as mushrooms. When he appeared before the magistrate, Jagannath pleaded guilty and was fined $6,000 on the charge of possession of mushrooms, $4,500 for possession of ecstasy, and $3,500 for possession of ketamine. In its release, the ERHA said Jagannath was employed as a locum house officer. The operational cost of Lake Asphalt far exceeds its income. Up to 2022, the company had a very large bank account, according to Minister of Works and Transport, Rohan Sinanan. However, Minister Sinanan said this amount was depleted because its expenditure was more than revenue being made. Giving a historic overview of the company, the Standing Finance Committee was told on Tuesday the company made a huge profit from sale of bitumen.
Lake Asphalt up to 2022 had a large bank account, which they depleted because, again, the operations at Lake Asphalt, the expenditure way exceeded the income. Lake Asphalt made a significant profit on selling the bitumen, which in most cases was never paid for.
So how did they end up with a large bank account, sir?
Because they were never paying for the bitumen, but they were selling it and making a huge profit.
However, the firm is being restructured to ensure it returns to its original objectives of selling the products coming out of the lake.
And that is why we are now in the process of restructuring Lake Asphalt. All right, and to try to get Lake Asphalt back to the moorings of Lake Asphalt, which is selling the products coming out of the lake, because that is what Lake Asphalt really was developed for. To sell the products coming out of the lake, and we are in the process now of getting back to the moorings of Lake Asphalt.
You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. The opposition is calling on the government to fully implement and operationalize Gambling Control Act. It is also appealing for the introduction of an extensive educational program regarding gambling addiction. The United National Congress recommends the start of consultations with citizens to consider an increase in the permissible legal age for gambling. Well, finally, here's weather news for the period today until midnight. Trinidad and Tobago sunshine will likely be interrupted by a few partly cloudy intervals with showers over a few areas. There's a medium chance of isolated thunderstorm activity, especially during the early afternoon and favoring Trinidad. Tonight will be generally settled apart from isolated showers. Street flooding and gusty winds are possible in the event of heavy downpours. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 33 degrees Celsius, both at Piarco International Airport and Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it's 26 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 28 at Crown Point. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock. The U.S. makes allowance for TNT to pay for Dragon gas. Another cache of weapons found in Santa Cruz. 2 children found naked and alone in an abandoned structure in Darby, and the Standing Finance Committee told the operational cost of Lake Asphalt far exceeds its income. I'm Afril Centil Bob. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon today and an update coming your way at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you so much, April, for our major news. You can join her again coming up at 8 o'clock with 48 and 44 seconds from now for our news brief. Quickly, let's get into our traffic, see what's happening traffic-wise. Going to Santa Rosa, Maloney towards Uwe. And then Valsay in the Port of Spain, you've got some traffic. Eastern Main Road is not too bad. Heading towards McCoy, you've got some traffic. And going through St. Joseph, Mormont, Champlain, heading towards Mova Junction, you've got it. Not too bad. Going up Lady Young Road. Out of Maraval, you'll get it from Moncoco Road. All 3 routes out of Dago, you've got traffic. All right. Kelly Village, St. Helena, Ibis Gardens to Curep, you've got traffic. Rivulet Road, leaving Couva, heading toward Chase Village, you've also got it. San Fernando, you're lighter than usual, Garlaconda Connect Road, and through Link Road. you've got some traffic there. So you're pretty much clear until you get to Charlotte. All right, that's a quick traffic update for you. Let's see if we have any more votes on morning poll. Ish out in Malik says yes. Good morning to you, Trinity in Boston.
That seems to be it there.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That's our votes.
Yeah, not a very heavy poll this morning, but that's quite all right. It happens sometimes. We know it's midweek, it's hump day, or preparing for.
So what are the results of our football? Well, let me give you the results. Our question yesterday was, do you think that TTPS is improving in its fight against crime in our beloved Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago? 71% said no. 71 said no. This morning's poll, we asked you, do you think Consumer Affairs should continue investigating the credit card discrepancy issue?
We had 9 people saying yes and 3 saying no. 9 said yes, 3 said no. All right?
And there was nobody cares.
Nobody, they clearly they didn't care enough to even vote today.
Yeah, nobody cares.
You know? Yeah. Well, I wonder how many people so disaffected, you know?
I guess that's why the poll participation is so low, because it didn't affect that many people.
Yeah. Although I read somewhere where it also affected debit cards. I don't know how that could be possible though. That it would have affected debit cards.
It was a bank, so you could affect anybody.
Yeah. I guess so. And I believe if somebody did something fraudulent, and the bank picked up on it. And maybe, hopefully, they didn't get away with it. You understand? Because reversing charges, reversing withdrawals with less money can't possibly be to the consumer benefit. How you could take money out of my account and then put back less, and it had nothing to do with any transaction I conducted. How is that possible?
Well, the initial reason given, I don't know if it's still valid, because the Republic Bank has now claimed responsibility, is that it ended up with a U.S. on the U.S. the Forex side, and the fluctuation in Forex may have contributed to the discrepancy. But I still don't know how it come to $150 and $200 in some instances. Forex changed that much?
Well, I have both a Republic Bank card and a Royal Bank card. But it happened with the Royal Bank card, not with the Republic Bank card.
So then how does Republic Bank Forex thing end up on a Republic Bank?
And that's the question I asked when we started this morning. How does ended up a Republic Bank issue when my issue clearly was with Royal? Is it that the merchant I conducted business with
has a Republic Bank machine? Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
So is it that the merchants that it happened with, they all have Republic Bank machines?
Could be.
Maybe that's the answer.
Maybe that's the answer.
You know? But they haven't said that. They've just taken credit. I'm using the word credit for it. You understand? And that's it. We should just hush and move on.
Well, I think more information is needed.
I know a very senior person at Republic Bank, you know, and I know that person is listening now. If you're minded to message me, I know you probably won't be able to do an interview, but if you're minded to message me to tell me what this thing is all about, I wouldn't mind. You know?
I forget I was going to send you who buy timber or property. Let me send it for you now. Don't put it on here.
No, don't. Don't you say?
Don't.
Okay, no problem. I won't put, and don't private message me for me to send it for you either. I know some of you all will do that. Right? You all could come down to Rumbox, buy a ticket for Richard Play, buy a bottle of whatever, and then, okay.
Right? Right?
All right.
Right.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what goes there.
Marina?
I can't forget Tembladora, you know. My dad actually worked there way back in the day when it was a bauxite
shipping point.
Yeah, it was a bauxite factory. You know?
I think the silos are down now, you know.
But that place hasn't been used for years.
For years. It's been vacant for
Yeah.
years.
It's just been there. And people swim right outside there, you know. A lot of the Carnage people bathe right in that area there. I don't know what's so special. Plenty of people bathe there. You know? It'll be interesting. Maybe they mightn't get to bathe there again. Oh, dear.
If you have a yacht, you might be able to bathe there. If you have a yacht in some years, you'll be able to burst the yacht there.
Mm-hmm. I might be risking more than...
They might call it Pier 4.
I might be risking more than...
They might call it Pier 4.
Mm-hmm. I might be risking more than my pleasure on board of my yacht.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So we'll see where that goes, how that goes.
I think it's prime property, and I'm not surprised that some businessman or conglomerate has snapped it up.
Yeah. But who would have been... What Templador would have come under what? Or who back there? Was it Answer? Was that one of the Answer? Was that part of the Answer companies?
That's a state company. That's a state facility.
It was state?
Yeah. For state. Extractive Industries. It was a transshipping point that we didn't mine bauxite here.
Right.
It was a bauxite storage and transshipment facility.
Right. The ships used to bring the goods in and
then other ships would take it off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bauxite just closely resembles so many different things, including flour.
I've never seen bauxite up here. So.
You've never seen bauxite? You've never driven down there way back in the day and seen what it looks like?
No, I'm too young for that.
No, you would have been young. Because my dad died when I was 11, but I distinctly remember what it looked like.
We didn't stop there. We went into the bay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all didn't go so far down.
We went that far. We passed Edmonton, closer into Shag Ramus area.
On the base.
To bathe in the fecal water.
Well, it wasn't fecal then, eh?
It wasn't fecal then.
Everybody was bathing down there at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a fecal issue then. Or if they had it, they didn't
it does now.
Yeah. But people still bathe there in droves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Templador is the one with the bauxite the construction thing, with all of the kind of corridors that walkways. That it's always an interesting building.
Yes. What does bauxite look like, Richard? Describe it for Paul, because he doesn't know.
I have no clue.
You have no clue either what bauxite looks like?
Mm-hmm.
Like flour is white powder, like a white powder.
I have no clue.
You know they're dismantling that, right?
They're dismantling the plant also?
Alcoa, yeah. That commenced already. It's been bought.
Well, where was he?
I don't know.
Bought by Steve.
He just jumped out. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about him. It's like his brain on a 5-minute delay loop.
No, I want to know who it's been bought by, Steve.
I sent it to Wendell.
Send it to Richard too. Nothing will be forwarded from my phone. Nobody ain't going to check my IP address and see what I send and who I send it for.
Richard's mouth is not manageable, you know.
Now, in this case, if you tell him don't say it, he won't say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it, Richard.
Oh, I thought it was them.
I
know your penchant for giving clues.
I gave a clue.
And he gave a big clue, eh?
He did. So I said, "Oh, it's probably X," in my mind, and so said so.
Those who know.
Yeah. All right. So Terrence Brown says yes. It's the merchant machine is the problem. So it's So then all those merchants probably had Republic Bank machines.
Yeah, it was Republic Bank machine. I think that was the problem. The machines on which the transactions were done.
Right.
I don't know. Because you know what? Because what happens with Republic Bank too, and I don't know if this happens to you, to any of you all. I don't know if it happens to you, Steve, because I know you are definitely Republic Bank.
He can't help but be.
Like if you use your debit card and let's say you pay an arbitrary bill, let's say, give me one, a digital bill, and your digital bill is $300. Okay, like a week or two later, you see that $300 that you paid to digital because you used your debit card to pay it, right? You paid it online. I'm talking about online payment, not a
Over the counter. Not over the
yeah,
counter.
not over the counter, online. And you pay $300 with your Republic Bank card. A week or so later, or 2 weeks later, all of a sudden you will see that payment reversed. And the money is back in your account for that $300 from digital payment, and almost looks like a reversal of the payment that you made to digital.
Uh-huh.
And but it lasts like a day, and then the following day it exits again. But you have access to the money if you wanted to use it. But what is your point in using it?
Very strange.
I mean, it's a payment you made.
I have a Republic
I never understand what that is. Yeah, no, that
I've never
happens.
seen that with Republic Bank, my Republic Bank debit card. Because Republic Bank.
Because you know it sends you
an immediate email.
You know, Republic Bank sends you notifications for everything.
Immediately.
So it sends you a notification saying they have reversed this. And then it goes back. Now the person you paid has already been paid,
Right.
It's very strange and very weird. All right, just give me a couple seconds.
I've never gotten that from the debit card thing. The credit card is confusing, I can tell you that much. But the debit cards you get instant messages from Republic Bank whenever your cards are used. Instant messages. And I like that. Royal Bank, you have to actually go into your online statement and look. So that's how when I looked and I said, hey, why are there 4 payments? Because it's one transaction after the next. A withdrawal, 2 withdrawals, and two debits, and then 2 credits. But the credits don't match the debits. I said, what is this? And it marked Price Smart Mousica. I said, what is this craziness? So I said, but I did go into Price Smart a few days before, but I didn't spend this much money. I spent $1,840, and I saw that payment come out. That payment came out. But then these other 4 transactions showed up for Price Smart, and I'm saying, but what craziness? So I screenshot it, and I say, when I come back home, I'll check. Only to go online, to go on Facebook and see a whole firestorm about what's happening with people. And I said, well, somebody owed me money. Price Smart.
The numbers are 222-TALK, 222-8255, 612-8255, or toll free. If you are in North America, 866-525-1099. It seems our guest has been detained, so we shall open the phone lines and discuss the day's issues with you, our valued listeners and viewers.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's go, Zena. Let's go, Miss Sampson. Let's go, Trinity.
Going back to that issue with the police second haul of weapons in Santa Cruz, again, I'm surprised that no one has been arrested.
I'm not surprised, honestly.
No, I am surprised. I'm very surprised, given that was the second one, and I don't know.
Clearly, Santa Cruz have some kind of
Santa Cruz is hot.
They have some kind of disappearing oil that you could just throw on your skin, and you're right there, and the police can't see you.
Santa Cruz hot. We have some calls. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
I didn't contribute to the poll because I was shocked that we still have a consumer affairs division.
I know.
If consumer affairs want to investigate anything, they should investigate the bank charges. I remember a couple years ago, my daughter had to get a case study book online, and she needed it immediately. So I went on the counter to the bank. They said, well, you could pay the credit card through the ATM. I said, no, my daughter needs it in the morning, because if you pay it through the ATM, it takes extra day. If you pay it on the counter, it's credited at 12 in the night.
Yeah, yes.
You know, they charge me for coming in the bank and paying the credit card on the counter and not through the ATM. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, very bad.
I think if you pass gas in the bank, they will charge you for that too.
Once you engage a bank now, for any reason, you have to pay.
Well, the Consumer Affairs should investigate those charges and see if it's reasonable to the average person. Because I mean, if you have $1 million in the bank, it really ain't matter. But if you're a working class person that just barely, you know, keep treading water, a $15 charge or a $25 charge is a lot, you know. That's two packs.
Well, Alistair, I don't know if you know, the $1 million man going and query it, eh? They query it, eh? That's why they reached that $1 million.
No, but you're right. I've traveled with some millionaires already and started restaurants, and if $5 come back short in the change, they query it, you know, because I think they have a different value system for money in some instances.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right, this bill wrong. $5 missing.
I guess that's why they're rich.
That's why they're rich.
Yeah.
That's why
they're
rich.
All right. Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, morning, Steve.
Morning.
Good morning, Paul.
You're always so jolly and bright and vibrant.
I am always that way.
Miss Dabity, where's Salmon Drive? Where's Salmon Drive in Dabity?
Salmon Drive? That is funny. Not on my side.
Oh, okay. I don't know it at all.
But Wendell, I was going to pick with you.
Sure.
They said Paul and Mr. Patrick and Paul's girlfriend and Miss Sampson. You never
Madam, please be accurate. That's my wife.
oh, I didn't know you were my wife. Sorry.
Yeah, we are.
All right.
Unlawfully wed.
Unlawfully. Okay. I like that one. My answer to the morning poll, I believe they are investigating, and I feel, as I said, I don't, you know, they ain't doing the work as they should, but I just feel they will hold, if it's not one person, more than one. You know, I just feel so.
Where?
And yeah, I think I have that confidence that they will hold.
Which matter you're talking about?
The guns.
Last night's gun. You know, I believe they would, even the first one. You know, so I think I still have that confidence because they can't reach so far and turn back. They have to continue, right?
Well, the Commissioner of Police commended and thanked the public for information leading to the fine, which is interesting.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, well, somebody. Anyway, the same person must miss out on that deal, must went and squeal on you, whoever else remaining. The Ministry of Works isn't that the ministry responsible for traffic lights and so on?
Yeah.
Right. Now, Multiple Road and Larry Source Road South, they put up traffic lights. You know, that short distance between Multiple Road and Larry Source South, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put up traffic lights, and it started operating from Monday. But before they put it up, I know that was going to be chaotic because there's a short distance, right? So
where they do that, on the main road? Because have it on the bus route already.
That is my point. There's a traffic light down by the highway by Price Mart. There's one on the bus route. Now there's one on the main road. Mausica
Road?
Yeah. And here it is. Granted, there's traffic on the Eastern Main Road, but that is not because of any trippiness. It's because there's a school there and so on, right? Anyway, it started Monday. Now I have to come out from Larry Source South. I don't pass the bus route lights. Now I had to go onto the main road to face the traffic light. I waited over 2 minutes. Guess how many cars were waiting? A car in front of me and me. And I had to wait 2 minutes for that light to change. When I turned right to go east, I had to wait by Mausica now because the light there is also on red for me. That's a shippiness. And yesterday to me was the worst. Long lines. There's a grocery there too, right? I don't know if you know it, Wendell. Just to come out of that grocery, I was getting problem. I had to be begging, literally, because there's so much traffic and nobody wants it because everybody vexed.
Yes,
It is everybody. So I wish they could rethink this and all. A lot of people are complaining. I think they should rethink this because to come out of La Resource, north and south, La Florida, north and south, you don't need a traffic light.
Yeah.
Because not tons of vehicles coming out at the same time. It's not a major accident.
Wait, hold on a second, Ms. Davidi. You said that on the main road they put a traffic light by La Resource Road and by Mousica? And by Mousica?
Main road, La Resource on the main road. Yes.
That don't make sense.
And
but maybe it does to somebody.
I could walk from that corner, La Resource, to Mousica in about 2 minutes, but the park traffic light there. I find something happened there with some money thing, somebody has some money to get because I find that was so ridiculous. And traffic, the traffic is worse. Now, the traffic not bad, because you could deal with it. Because you could ease out, but you see, not so many cars coming out of both north and south. Right?
Yeah.
Neither Mousica, Terrestrial Road, you go to Terrestrial Homes. Oh gosh, you have to wait there too. How many cars come out at the same time? I went to drop my daughter's friend from school yesterday. I had to wait on the light again. My car alone there. I had to wait on a little 2 minutes just to come out. When I used to just come out, somebody would give me a blind right by the corner there, and I'll go my way. I think that they had to get back the money somehow. That doesn't make sense. And compliments versus listening, waste of money, total waste of money. We didn't need that.
I'll check with a source that I have inside of there as to the basis behind that traffic.
Yeah, check it out because and when the police report to me, because I hate it. The traffic wasn't bad. We could tolerate what was there. But now it is lights, not this light, but these two lights, worse.
Well, Sexy San Fernando is saying that they put up some traffic lights close to Supper. Supper lights, literally 500 feet away. No school, nothing, just an intersection that flows. Interesting. Good morning, caller. Lots of calls. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Coincidentally, I was in the east yesterday, coming down from the east yesterday, and I saw, while coming down, I was watching these two lights and saying, well, wait a minute. These two lights ought to be within 50 feet of one another, 100 feet of one another. Why they put two lights so close to one another? So I'm pleasantly surprised to hear Ms. Sampson talking about it because
that's not Ms. Sampson. That wasn't Ms. Sampson.
Well,
that was Ms. Davidi.
Right, Ms. Davidi. It took me a while to get, because I took that road there to get back to the highway. What do you call that street, that road?
Mousica.
Right, Mousica Road.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to get down to the lights and then to make a left to cross the bus route to get to that Mousica stretch.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she mentioned it. And it brought something to the front burner for me because it's something I saw last week. I saw that they are widening the road from Grand Bazaar to Chaguanas. I stopped and I asked the question. So if I'm wrong, I'm quoting somebody that I spoke to. It seems that they are widening the road to a 4-lane road in some areas now to Chaguanas, which I find nonsensical. Yeah, from Grand Bazaar, which I find nonsensical. Because in my layman assessments, what they need to do is widen that bridge over the Chaguanas flyover and widen the road from Chaguanas to San Fernando. Because it's that 2-lane road, that over bridge, that causes the traffic pile up from Chaguanas.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And the 2 lanes now from Chaguanas to south is what causes the traffic pile up from. Before the Brilla flyover, we never had traffic going to south. But because the traffic is so smooth now with that flyover by Grand Bazaar, it causes a pile up in Chaguanas. Chaguanas is where the problem is. We don't need 4 lanes from.
Are you talking about the main Chaguanas entrance?
The flyover right there by the main Chaguanas entrance. Yes, that needs to widen.
Yeah, because that you've gone from 3 lanes to 2.
Back down to 2, yes.
And the amount of the volume of vehicles on it, it will create. And I keep saying that 2-lane highway to San Fernando and back has outlived.
That is what needs to widen.
We need 4 lanes. You get one truck going to south and he overtake it on your right. That's traffic.
That is the problem. The problem is from that Chaguanas flyover there to straight to south. South needs to widen to 3 lanes, at least 3 lanes. So I don't know who is the rocket scientist that widening from Grand Bazaar to Chaguanas, but they need to definitely. I say let me mention it. So when they realize the foolishness they're doing, they Paul and Rendell and Stephen could say, "Well, hey, Lincoln did say that many years ago." All right.
All right, Lincoln.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a technical issue because that highway from Chaguanas to San Fernando, you have several flyovers on that route that will have to be adjusted to make way if you're making 4 lanes. Because they're right there. There's not much space. So it means even if you have 4 lanes at certain points, you'll have to come back down to 2 to go under flyovers and then broaden back. That's the only way I could see it being accomplished, unless you're adjusting those flyovers, which seems like an expensive enterprise to my mind.
Yeah.
Good morning.
To remove the footings.
Yeah. Let's grab this call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, guys. Thank you, Steve, for taking
Good morning.
I just came back from my morning exercise in the park down by me here, and I was so shocked to see, those mini goalposts that they'll have for like smaller children. Now the park will have the big ones down in the earth, but they have some mini ones, like maybe for small children who will be playing football. And lo and behold, I'm seeing this thing chained onto the pavilion, padlock and all, and I'm saying, what? It's so bad? Somebody will steal 2 goalposts?
Yeah, you go to every recreation ground, most recreation grounds, and those guys that play the small goal and they have their goals, they chain it up. It's around the Queen's Park Savannah. It is around Nelson
Mandela Park,
Eddie Hart grounds, just to name a few. It will be stolen.
Oh, I was shocked.
So they chain it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Wow, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
All right, let me move on. I cannot believe after that lady, that 62-year-old lady, was dragged on. Well, 1 minute they say Charlotte, now we're here in Queen Street. Dragged and robbed. And a police officer is going to tell her, pay him $1,000 and he go get back the money for her.
Yeah, I saw that last night. I laughed.
Listen, man, I couldn't believe. I said, no. I said, this one take the cake, the pan, the oven, the everything. What? I mean, we in a real mess.
Well, thankfully, the Professional Standard Bureau set up a sting and arrested him.
Well, thank God she reported it because she was so upset. The lady said she ain't coming back to Trinidad, and I must commend her for doing what she did, because some people would have fallen for it and then they get robbed a second time. My God, man, all you speed up that case fast and get that man out the service, because as what Gary Griffith said, when he came commissioner, I think he called 300 police on suspension. Why it is these cases have to be dragging on? Richard, I don't know. What we could do, what the judiciary could do, that cases in Trinidad, well, I know much about Tobago, but cases in Trinidad don't go beyond 5 years? Why? I mean, what it is? Wait, take. Would Jesus have to come down and say, hey, oh, you finish this case? What it is? Oh my God, this thing is on. You're hearing, oh, the lawyers and the magistrate working together. What the hell going on?
Ma'am, they passed a law in Canada some years ago because they had the same issue with the delays in the judicial process.
Really, in Canada?
If certain categories of cases went beyond 5 years, the matter was dismissed.
Well, Paul, I saw on the internet a young man was incarcerated. His trial went like I would have going to Trinidad, and he sued the state, and the state had to pay him money. You know why? The time he was in prison, he stayed longer than the sentence he would have gotten for whatever.
Absolutely. That happens.
And that is what we have to do in Trinidad. You want to bet they go finish quick? My goodness, this thing, I can't believe, I'm still trying to figure out what it is we could do. What? Who could come and say, oh, yeah, you say like how they brought the Pratt and Morgan? What is going on you hearing? I heard a fella on High Independency Sunday, 14 years he say in prison waiting for his trial. Nah, man, this is not good enough. That ain't good enough. And content explainer, we just can't go on this way.
As I told somebody yesterday,
Y'all have a bless.
there's so many agencies and institutions that are failing that it's easy for one to blame the other, you know.
Always.
You know, and that's the issue. Nobody, you can't pinpoint where says the judiciary says the public service says the government says the people. Oh God. It has so much blame to go around. You could hide in the blame.
I tried to find that story with this is a city police officer.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
I want to ask a question, Richard Raguba, when all the Wendell or Richard Weber. Could a worker who working in True Value in the mall join a union?
What's up?
Could a worker who working in a place like a mall or in a True Value in a grocery join a union?
Any worker can join any union.
Worker can join any union.
Yeah.
Did they reconcile the issue with domestic workers yet, Richard?
Reconcile what?
In terms of joining a union.
I don't know what you're talking
that
about.
was the only thing I think was outstanding to deal with. But I think, yes, any worker can join any union.
Not in Trinidad. If you know to join a union, they want to penalize you.
Well, that's a different matter. You can join the union, and then if the employer seeks to penalize you, then that's a different matter. But you can join the union.
Yeah, you can.
Because, right. Another thing, I watched the news last night. Customs, the barrel, with the man lost his clothes. You see that?
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
The man lost
He lose his clothes.
Yeah, you saw that one, Wendell?
Yes, I saw that.
When he come back and he reached me, realized the jacket, he
Yeah. Well, apparently, the impression I got was that he was there when they were searching the barrel.
And the barrel was too full.
But the barrel couldn't close back properly. So they just put the cover on top. He went to pay his duties and he collected his barrel, went to him. And when he went to him, 2 suits missing and some other items, about 3 other items.
A
5
shirt
items.
and tie and something else.
So he goes back to the port.
Are you 500 US?
The port not really dealing with the issue. And
No.
and he asking them if they have surveillance tape, etc., etc. And they're saying, yes, they have surveillance tape. But they were the impression you got from him, because he seemed pretty diplomatic, quite frankly.
Yes, he was very well spoken.
He was very well spoken and diplomatic, and he was like, when you read through what he was saying, is that the port was just being very unhelpful.
Yeah.
I've told you on many occasions, this is the Republic of Trinidad, Tobago, and Customs.
But mind
Customs
you, what he highlighted there, you've seen videos from international areas, international ports and so on, in terms of TSA searching people and robbing them, you know, taking all the stuff from the suitcase. You've seen videos like that too, you know.
It's human beings.
That's a human failing. A thief is a thief, regardless of where you put them, you know.
And no matter how much money they have, you could have $1 billion. If you're a thief, you will still steal $5.
Yeah, you will find a way to steal.
Good morning.
Gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning again. Richard, how are you sounding so young? Get your brand of coffee this morning.
I just had some coffee, actually.
Hearing you. Oh, I find I'm not hearing you talking up loud. Like a while ago, like you were daydreaming. You understand? So I want to know. I ain't too far, you know. You can jump in to get any brand here. It's hot for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
On public radio.
What else?
On public radio.
What different man? You have strong. You have me. You want Richard now too. Where's your real story?
You're too jealous with yourself.
You just invited me for coffee, yeah, that's it.
I would leave you to let Lago carry you
I
away.
started the invitation to coffee to the end up.
I go
Richard, gentlemen, who says come for coffee and you're getting it hot? I've never heard that.
I've never heard that.
No coffee maker slogan. They never say that.
I'm sorry, Paul.
Listen, let me make my contribution, please. Paul, I leave. I'm a church away, Paul. Now let me leave. Let Lago who carry him away because
let Lago who carry him.
One of those children who you're picking up in dark night.
You go feel cold again.
Lago who in a car.
You go feel cold again. Don't worry.
Paul.
Oh
before
God!
you end the show, play that video and I'll send you, right?
Wendell,
yes,
you know we just really miss you when you're in there. You could real talk, you know.
Well, that's why Richard just keep quiet once I'm wrong.
Oh God! No, you knock out what I was going to say now off my head.
Those things happen. Those things happen. We understand.
Go try that. You don't put it down to no age.
I never said the word age. I said those things happen.
No, but I know where you go in. You understand? So you leave that alone and find your jump on that too quick. You understand? Anyhow, it was nice of you to take calls. I'm glad all you know that all you have people that's still sticking with all you. You know, many times when all you lock off and go bye until the next day, that station is just lock off, you know. Because sometimes Steve doesn't play, he take calls and sometimes he don't. So thank you for remembering that you only have customers and loyal listeners and callers.
Thank you, Zena.
I know, Lord, you is not because you invited a kind of man for hot cup of coffee.
Paul, you're out the door now. You don't realize that Richard is next.
Right. She just keep on making out Laga who take me. Laga who take me. Let you go Laga who take you. All right.
You sit down and stew on that for today, so tomorrow you will be a nicer person.
Next thing I get events, you know, they want to mash up the events with on them, but they don't tell nobody go and let Laga who take them, you know. That's why you lost in all your training man on them.
Mrs. R said that she is the only one in charge of making my coffee, yeah?
That's what Mrs. R thinks.
Cravatrous. You're not cravatrous. She cravatrous.
You understand? So
you're cravatrous.
I'm doing that and saying that.
You only have 2 hands, you 1 tree, man.
Because I might have a little done because I have some snow on the roof that you feel there's no fire in the furnace.
Oh dear Jesus.
Oh God.
Oh Lord.
Have a good day.
Good morning. Let me tell Charmaine good morning one time, eh?
Wow.
Yeah, Charmaine rolling over
because there's snow on the roof, there's no fire in the furnace. That petrol furnace. Petrol. Soot coming out of that furnace. Soot.
Boy, behave yourself.
Good morning, caller. Save us.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I would like to find out something. It's concerning Sandy Grande Cemetery, Foster Road. I went to the cemetery 2 days ago, and the workers, I don't know if it's works, it's county or which is the one responsible for the cemetery. They cut, according to the talk, they cut and they beat and arrest the grass. And they burn the cemetery down. That's not the way that they do cemeteries. That's not the way they clean. Why do they always do that to Foster Road Cemetery? Tourist cemeteries cut and clean and nice. Whenever they go to Foster Road, which is lighting up coming in November, they just burn the cemetery, all the grass down, burn up all your tombs, soot all over. Now you have a lot of work to clean your tombs with all this, scrub out all the soot. Why do they always do that and not cut the grass properly?
That sounds very unusual that they would burn the grass.
They burn the grass every year. I'm sorry I did not take a picture to send to you all. It's a mess in the cemetery. They always do that to Foster Road Cemetery. They do not cut the grass down and maybe cart it off or put it wherever they have to put it, burn it. They make big heaps all around the place and burn all through the cemetery and burn all through your tombs and all them things. How could you now go and paint with all these little suits flying up on your paint after you paint? It's a mess.
I've never heard of them burning cemeteries yet.
Before the All Saints, All Souls period.
Yeah, but who would be in charge of that? That's a state cemetery, or is it?
That's regional corporation.
I think so. It should be county council. So why do they always do that? Every year they do the same thing to us in San Grande, in Foster Road especially.
I would suggest to make a formal complaint to the regional corporation.
And to the MP.
Okay, supervisor, is there supervisor that comes to see the work after they work to see what they send out the workers to do and see what they do?
That's someone like lazy work. Like they don't want to.
It is.
Yeah, the best to let's just burn it down and then
And they're done. Yeah, clean. The most important is clean it. They burn the grass down, all the grass. And it's not all they did. They beat some, cut some all in the main part there, and they break rip parts of big and heavy grass there. They didn't go all down that way. Every year they do the same thing in Foster Road.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
The Tunapuna cemetery is also overgrown.
Most of the cemeteries now.
They do not maintain it. If you have to cut at least twice or three times a year, they do not do that. They leave it for a whole year. Now, lighting up in November, they come and do this mess and they leave it there for you.
It seems so disrespectful, though. You know,
it does, doesn't it? No respect. Good morning. Hold on 1 second, caller. Look, do you know that at the corner of the Priority Bus Route and Parsley Street, in the northwestern corner, that's a cemetery, and not an empty piece of land?
Yeah,
that's a cemetery.
CPEP discovered that cemetery 20 years ago.
And they have since then they cleaned it then, and they probably never cleaned it after that. Because
they clean it from time to time, but you're right, it is a cemetery that's overgrown.
It is a cemetery. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Great show, great chemistry. I'm a listener since you all started. I won't call my name. I'm driving down the road now and I'm listening how you were talking about how these drivers drive and how the police operate and stuff. And amazingly, when I approaching Maloney, these drivers have this habit where they fly down the shoulder at over 100 and then they go around the lights and they cheat the lights. And if anybody walk out from anywhere, you will definitely die and I will definitely make a jail. And here it is, I'm watching 6 cars by Maloney looking to do that, and then I look across the road and I saw a police jeep crossing, and I say, yes, they go in and get hold. And you know what they did? They slow up, the police cross and went across, and they continue, and more people coming. So I'm saying, until we get this culture, because it's quite easy to say you're sorry when the other person have grief. And this shoulder that people, we can just put humps, I know it's after certain places that they put humps on the shoulder, so you can't fly, but in an emergency, you can still pull at the shoulder because this laying on the shoulder in the morning is a different kettle of fish. So we need to do something. Because anybody that comes out,
on the shoulder.
Put the humps on the shoulder, yes. You will still have the purpose of pulling in, but you will decrease the speed that they fly down there.
Yeah.
And it happens. It happens by every
by
single traffic light on the highway.
Correct. Macoya.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do that.
La Hoqueta, O'Mara, it happens by all of them.
It happened by all because amazingly, if you're looking to turn left because you want to turn left and come on where you're supposed to, they pop you and they get on all aggressive,
No, when they want to do the wrong thing, they want to pull back and you don't want to let them in. It's cost.
Yeah, you don't let it. But I did a guy that by O'Mara and he pulled in front of my car, opened his door, fly out, stop the traffic, and start to get on aggressively. And I told myself, once he crosses back, I'm going to ram him because I'm not going to let him come on the side of me because he stopped. He was so upset that I wouldn't allow him. And when he realized that I wasn't stopping, he overtake everybody and he fly in front of me, block the 2 lanes, and fly out his car for violence.
Yep.
So it's really, really difficult.
Yeah, you gotta be careful out there.
Gotta be so
careful. What's interesting? And we're talking about CCTV cameras. Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller.
But there was a big uproar in the UK the weekend I was there, where they passed a law which allowed the state to use AI to track to use facial recognition to send tickets to people who broke the law. It's not even about CCTV cameras alone. It's about even using that in a more aggressive manner to deal with law enforcement. We're still trying to figure out how much of these 1,700 cameras working. They go on one step further with identifying with facial recognition on the streets and in cars to make sure you uphold the law.
Do we still have speed traps with the police officer with the radar guns? Do we still have that?
Yeah. From time to time. Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
From time to time. Yeah.
Do we still have DUI driving under the influence test? We have.
Yep.
I must be not going out nowhere intro again.
Now, if you read papers, sometimes you will see, like, especially over the weekend, there's these 16 people arrested for DUI.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's always some exercise somewhere.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Nah, just over if not this weekend, last weekend, I saw a news item about it.
Okay.
About 20 people they caught or something.
They have a wonderful Wednesday.
Hold on, I'd select a call here before you all started. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Miss Sampson, go ahead.
I know they allotted money for the local government, but some people thinking with book sense and not common sense. I hope they spend the money wisely, widen the street, cover the box drain, ask a question, stop widening sidewalk. We need more streets than sidewalk. We had a mayor in San Fernando here that took off a whole lane. We have 3 schools, a police station, 2 churches, and a fire station. And we had to spend money now to remove that back the street. The street need to be widened. Just cover all the box drain and do some stuff. Spend the money wisely, please.
All right.
Bye.
Paul, play the performance now.
Wash, you gonna kill me again with that?
Not that one. The next one I sent him.
But as you mentioned performance, of course, Bacchanal Bubble on bad behaviors on this weekend held over by public demand at Cipriani College, Saturday at 8:30, Sunday at 6:30. Tickets go on sale today from the Cipriani College box office. All outlets have their tickets except for Electronics in Arima, which will get their tickets by 2 or 3 this afternoon. But all outlets have their tickets, so you can get your tickets. We are on again this weekend. We had a fantastic weekend just gone. I mean, absolutely fantastic. I think everybody who came out just had a fantastic time. So many people came backstage. And we're on again this weekend at Cipriani College by public demand. Bacchanal Bubble and bad behavior. You can check RSRR Productions theater page for further information as to all of the outlets where you can get tickets, which you should know by now if you listen to this program.
Alrighty, so folks, have an absolutely fantastic day. Early happy birthday greetings to Stephen Harper, my friend and business partner. His birthday is tomorrow. And, well, Shaka Subero's birthday is Friday. So I'll wish him then, all right? So folks, have a wonderful day.
Too?
Yeah, Shaka is October too. Lord knows they are attracting like bees to honey. Folks, have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
All right, so have a fantastic day, whatever you do. And remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Box office opens today, 12 noon to 6 p.m. at Cipriani College daily. Okay, have a great one.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. At this time, let's get into our 8 o'clock news brief.
This